means we should modify the rule slightly, that the sum of n terms of an AP is second degree expression in n. That is, power of n in that expression will be 2 for n greater than 1 only. N strictly greater than 1. N belongs to natural number, means n equals to 2, 3, 4 for this only. Is that clear to you, everyone? If you write the AP now, it is starting from n greater than 1, means from 15, 25, 35, 45 and so on. If you write the first term is 15, okay? And common difference, or first write the difference. 25 minus 15, 10. And again 35 minus 25 is also 10. So the second degree expression in n always represent an AP except the first term. Okay. Now the last rule is the nth term of an AP is always first degree expression in n. Nth term of an AP is always first degree expression in n. First degree expression in n means what? As I have discussed in previous explanation, sum of n terms of an AP is always the second degree expression in n, means power of n in that will be 2 only, like n square. Similarly, the nth term of an AP is always first degree expression in n, means the power of n must be 1 only. Power of n will be 1. That is, we also call that expression which has power of 1 as the linear expression. That is, it will be linear expression, is power of 1 in n. Like an plus b, for AB belongs to real numbers. A and B both are real numbers, and n is a natural number always. N means number of terms. It is the order of terms. Nth term is fifth term, sixth term, seventh term. 5.1th term is not possible. Fractional term cannot be obtained. Na? N is always a natural number. For example, if we write an equals to 5n plus 6, what is the power of n? It is, what is the power of n? Can you tell? Power of n in this is 1. That is, this is linear expression in n. Or we can say that this is first degree expression. They are the same things. In n. If an equals 5n plus 6, means a1 means first term. 5 into 1 plus 6 equals to 5 plus 6 equals to 11. A2 means second term, which will be obtained by replacing n by 2. 5 into 2 plus 6, 10 plus 6 equals to 16. A3 will obtain by replacing n by 3. 5 into 3 plus 6, 5 3 are 15 plus 6, 21. A4 equals to 5 into 4 plus 6, as AN is 5 and plus 6. So 5 4 the 20 plus 6 equals to 26. If you find the difference between the two consecutive terms, it is 16 minus 11, 5. 21 minus 16, 5. 26 minus 21, again 5. So this difference is common difference. Understood, everyone? So these 11 rules, you must remember, you must learn them properly. They will help you to solve all the problems related to the arithmetic progression. So now the problems are in question number 1A, fifth. 18th term, we have to find the 18th term of sigma 3n plus 4. Sigma is the symbol which is used for summation, means first term is obtained when we use 1 in place of n. Actually, it is a1. Whenever it is written that sigma 3n plus 4 means this is sigma an. An means nth term. Nth term of this AP is 3n plus 4. A1 equals to obtained by, as we have discussed in the properties, by replacing n with 1. 3 into 1 plus 4. So 3 plus 4 equals to 7. A2 is obtained by three into 2 plus 4, that is 6 plus 4 equals to 10. Is that clear to you? And A3 is obtained by replacing n by 3. So 3 into 3 plus 4. So 9 plus 4 equals to 13. Actually, the sigma means, always remember, sigma an means a1 plus a2 plus a3. Sigma means sum of all the terms when n is taken from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n. All the terms. Means a1 is 7 plus a2 is 10, a3 is 13, a4 is 3 4 the 12 plus 4, 16, and so on. So we have to find 18th term. So how will we find the 18th term? This is only the explanation. This is not the solution. This I have done to explain you the meaning of sigma only. Okay. Actually, we have to use the part which lies outside this rectangle only to solve this question. This is only the explanation. Okay. Means whenever it is given that series is sigma 3n plus 4, it means that the series is 7, 10, 13 plus 16 and so on. And its nth term is 3n plus 4. So we can easily find 18th term by replacing n with 18. 3 into 18 plus 4. 18 3 is 54 plus 4. It is 58, which is the answer of this question number 1A, fifth part, in which we have to find 18 term of sigma 3n plus 4. Now, question number 1b. This also I have explained in properties. An equals to given 6n plus 1. An equals to 6n plus 1. And we have to prove that it is an AP. For this, first we find n. As it is first degree expression in n, means it must be an AP. When we replace n by 1, 6 into 1 plus 1. 6 plus 1 equals to 7. A2 equals to 6 into 2 plus 1. 6 2s are 12 plus 1, it is 13. A3 equals to 6 into n plus 1. So 6 into 3 plus 1. So 6 3 ja 18 plus 1 equals to 19, and so on. So it will always represent an AP. You can check it by finding the common difference. First term is 7 and difference is A2 minus A1. Difference between the first two terms, 13 minus 7 equals to 6. Difference between the next two terms, A3 minus A2 equals to 19 minus 13, it is again 6. Means it is the common difference. So it's an AP. Whenever we prove that common difference is common, as common difference is common, difference is common. Common difference equals to 6. Hence, it's an AP. In question number 2, show that the sequence n equals to 6n square plus 1 is not an AP. So for this, if you find n, first term A1, this is not an AP, though it can be a series. But it's not an AP. If you find A1 by replacing n with 1, 6 into 1 square plus 1, 6 1 just 6 plus 1 7. A2 equals to 6 into 2 square plus 1, which is 6 for the 24 plus 1 25. A3 equals to 6 into 3 square plus 1, 6 9 are 54 plus 1 55, and so on. So clearly when we find the difference, A2 minus A1 is 25 minus 7 equals to 18. Again, when we find the difference between the next two terms, A3 minus A2, it is 55 minus 25 equals to 30. So common, the difference is not common. There is no common difference. And whenever there is no common difference, means given series is not an AP. Given sequence an equals to 6n square plus 1 is not an AP. Is that clear to you? Otherwise, write in comment box. If anyone has doubt, write in comment box. Now, in question number 3, if interior angle of a triangle are in AP, we know that triangle has 3 interior angles and the smallest angle is 40 degree. A equals to 40 degrees given. And we know that sum of all the 3 angles is 180 degree. Now, smallest angle, now first in question number 3, interior angle. So there are 3 terms. Let the angles be, we will use the property of taking 3 numbers, finding the 3 numbers. Let the angles of triangle be, so what it must be? A minus D, A and A plus D. And the smallest of them is A minus D. Means value of the smallest angle, A minus D, is given as 40 degree. So A minus D equals to 40 degree, equation number 1. And sum of all the 4 angles. You know that sum of all the 4 angles in a triangle is 180 degree. Now if you find the sum, first angle is A minus D, second is A, third is A plus D. So why is it taken as A minus D, A plus D, which can be cleared by when we solve this question. D will be cancelled out. So it will be very easier to find 3A equals to 180 degree. That is A equals to 60 degree. So very easy to find the middlemost value is 60 degree. First angle A minus D is 40 degree. Now if we use equation 1. So from equation 1 we will write A minus D equals to 40 degree. In place of A, 60 degree minus D equals to 40 degree. It means value of D equals to 60 degree minus 40 degree. That is 20 degree. So the next angle A plus D is obtained by these two values of A and D. 60 degree plus 20 degree, that is 80 degree. So the three angles are, the smallest one is 40 degree, next is 60 degree, next is 80 degree. Though this question involving three terms are very easy, they can be solved by other methods also, but these methods are easier than the other methods. When we take a minus d, a and a plus d as the three consecutive terms, which we have discussed in previous session. So question number 5. If mth term of an AP means AM, mth term is denoted by AM, equals to 1 by n, that is mth term means, you know that formula for nth term is a plus n minus 1d. So formula for mth term will be a plus m minus 1 into d, which will be equal to 1 by n. Okay. And the nth term is 1 by m. It is given that nth term is 1 by m. It means a plus n minus 1 into d equals to 1 by m, which is equation number 2. Now it is just like the two simultaneous equation in a and d. First is a, d. A and d are unknowns and m and n are knowns. Is that clear to everyone? A and d are unknowns which we have to find, and m and n are given in question. So how to solve the simultaneous equation when coefficients of x are equal, like a are equal in this? First we subtract equation 1 from 2. So subtracting equation 2 from equation 1, what do we get? A cancelled out. M minus 1 into d minus n minus 1 into d equals to 1 by n minus 1 by m. M minus 1 into d minus n minus 1 into d equals to 1 by n minus 1 by m. It implies, now if we take d common, m minus 1 minus n minus 1 equals to, in this we will take LCM of m and mn. So it is m minus n. It implies d into m minus 1 minus n plus 1 equals to m minus n upon mn. It implies d into 1 cancelled out. 1 is negative, 1 is positive. So m minus n only equals to m minus n upon mn. It implies m minus n will be cancelled out from both sides. D means common difference of the series is 1 by mn. Is that clear to you? If anyone has doubt, then raise your hand. D equals to 1 by mn. Now how to find the value of A? By substituting this value of D equals to 1 by mn, which we have obtained in either in equation 1 or in equation 2. So using equation 1, which is a plus m minus 1 into d equals to 1 by n. This is equation number 1. Mth term is 1 by n. A plus m minus 1 into value of d is 1 by mn equals to 1 by n. It implies a plus m minus 1 upon mn equals to 1 by n. It implies a plus, now we separate them, m by mn minus 1 by n, 1 by mn equals to 1 by n. It implies a plus mm cancelled out, so it is 1 by n minus 1 by mn equals to 1 by n. Now we transfer all of them to the next side except a to find a. So this 1 by n becomes minus 1 by n. Minus 1 by mn is minus becomes plus 1 by mn on transferring to next side. And this 1 by n is already there, so they will be cancelled out. And the first term is also 1 by mn. Is that clear to you? Common difference is 1 by mn and first term is also 1 by mn. Now how to, and what we have to find? Mnth term. Find mnth term. So how to find mnth term? Mnth term is amn. In place of a in formula, n in formula, we use mn minus 1 into. As we know that formula for nth term is a plus n minus 1 into d. So the formula for mnth term will be a plus mn minus 1 into d. Is that clear to you? Important in maths. Okay. So this is 1 by, first term is 1 by mn. So in place of a, we write 1 by mn plus mn minus 1 into common difference is 1 by mn only. This one. So it is again 1 by mn. LCM is mn. 1 plus mn minus 1. 1 will be again cancelled out. So it is mn by mn. So the mnth term is 1. Is that clear to you? When the mth term of an AP is 1 by n and nth term of the same AP is 1 by m, then the mnth term of that AP will be 1. And one more term is asked in the question. And the first term is 1 by mn, which we have already calculated. A equals to first term is 1 by mn and mnth term is 1. So now I'm ending the session. If you have any doubt, then write in comment box. Okay. Solve the sheet and ask your doubts. We will discuss all the remaining doubts in next session.